All right, let's talk about Sony PlayStation because there is some new information that has just dropped that I want to go over with you guys. Sony is the talk of the town this week because of Ghost of Yotei. Now, we have no idea how this game is actually performing. There's a lot of numbers out there. The truth is, nobody really knows how well it's doing. Now, I know the media is jumping to try to tell you numbers are good and it's actually great. You chuds have lost. Sony loves this. They are really just bathing in money right now because everybody loves the Antifa woman that plays this character in the game. So it's actually success. You are coping and seething. I don't think this game is going to lose money. And I've said that just about every video where I've talked about it since its release. I think it's doing okay. The point I like to get across to people is that it could have done better if there wasn't some spite behind this game. I feel a lot of Joker 2 vibes off of this game. I feel like they made it because the wrong people liked the first one. That's my opinion. You don't have to share it. But I feel like there was a lot of intentional choices, especially with the woman who plays the character that the game revolves around. So, you know, you're allowed to have your own opinion on what you think happened in the development of this game, but I just feel a lot of Joker 2 vibes off of this. And right there alone, you have a polarizing thing that you've chosen to do. I don't understand why these people are shocked when the reactions are exactly that. They're polarizing. Well, you chose an Antifa supporting crazy woman to be the star of the game, and you picked radicals to work on the game. Now, when you do that, I think you're kind of asking for it. But anyway, let's get into what's going on here. Now, I want to be clear on this. Both of these reports that I'm going to go over are rumor. And we're going to talk about some of that, especially on the next story. But I want to start right here. So that Park Place talked to somebody that has some information about what's going on with Ghost of Yotei in Japan. And it's being claimed that basically the sales were front-loaded. Now, I talked about this in a previous video because they were jumping up and down talking about how Japan loved the game. And I'm not shocked that people in Japan like this game. They loved the first one, like a lot of people. But that appears to have now, according to this, washed up. Nobody's buying it anymore. Well, some people are buying it, obviously, but this would indicate front-loaded sales, pre-sales, people that were going to buy the game no matter what. They went out and bought it, and now, thanks to word of mouth and a few other things, it's just dying. And collapsing sales have pushed Sony to stop advertising. Now, they put this tweet up here from somebody that is verifying what they said. Like I said, take all of this with a grain of salt. But promotional marketing stopped shortly after release. This indicates that they stopped any ad spending to maintain reserve cash on hand when the game fell out of trending very quickly. And there's a couple of other things in here that are some good points, like despite the initial surge of viewers, the viewership did not convert to sales or interest, likely due to the unimpressive state of the game. And with this, she's talking about Google Trends showing a consistent decline in interest, the Twitch viewership plummeting. You can really see the popularity of a game by looking at how many people are watching people stream the game. And that should be obvious why that happens, right? It's because interest. People are interested in the game. They want to see what it is before they go and buy it. So when a game first comes out, just about everybody gets views on it. And then after a week or two, it's really just the big popular streamers that can actually pull people in through their community. They can really play whatever the hell they want because it's more so that the people are there for them. But this does seem like a quick fall off, though. The game isn't that old. usually you get about 2 or 3 weeks of pretty decent numbers if the game has a lot of interest. But I don't follow that enough to know how long a game will stay on. But I think a week is about a safe bet, right? People will be tuning in to see if they want to buy it, especially as we wait between pay periods. People waiting to get paid so they can drop some extra cash that they might have on the game. We'll see. But here's the more interesting rumor. This is really something, and I want to put it out there. This is a rumor, but this could be a pretty big deal if this is true. So Sony apparently is thinking about pulling back on all of its Western studios and shifting to Japanese devs and traditional stories for exclusives if Ghost of Yotei and Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet fail. Now, there's some reasoning to think that this might be true, and there's also some reasoning to think that, this might not be anything. The first biggest thing is, number one, Sony moved everything to California. So they've overinvested in the West. But they could still keep their offices here. That was such a mistake to move to California. Really put a poison in that company. They could still just have people make the games in Japan. But the reason that they're thinking about this, number one, it should be obvious because these Western studios have been polarizing. They have crazy people working at them, and that's in the culture here. Basically, everybody they hire, because they won't hire anybody that has different political beliefs. They think that they're all crazy, evil people, and they don't even want their money. They tell you, we don't need your money. We don't need your money, MAGA man. They're crazy. Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, Bend, so many of them. They take a long time to make games. They balloon the budget, and they have polarizing fan reactions. Now, to Sucker Punch's credit, this did not have a long cycle. They actually got this game out fairly quickly, and the budget seems to be under control, but it still had a polarizing fan reaction. Now, I would think that Sony wants maximum profit. You don't get maximum profit when you hire a crazy Antifa person to play your main character and have people saying, we're glad that Charlie Kirk got taken out and all the wild shit that people attached to these studios were saying. You're asking for trouble. Nothing like that happens with the Eastern developers. They're all pretty quiet, other than two things: community managers, which are usually Western. They get somebody that speaks the language to be that person, and they say stupid shit. And then with an Eastern developer, the localizers. The localizers are a problem as well. I really wish that they would ditch these people and utilize AI a little bit more. You don't really need these crazy people doing this job anymore. All these are a problem for them, but for the most part, the core of the game is still pretty damn good, other than a few crazies, which they could fix. They could iron that out pretty easy. The reason that they have this thinking is because of the fact that a lot of these Asian studios have just had massive hits. Genshin Impact, Black Myth Wukong, and that other game that came out, that Waves game. You have games that are just dominating the charts, and they don't have any of these problems, man. I think some of these companies are going to start to go back to the East. They're going to have a choice because they're going to get dominated by them. So apparently Sony is really thinking about that. And here's some of the evidence that backs that rumor up. PlayStation's recent State of Play broadcast featured an increased focus on Japanese titles and anime-style visuals. Sony has quietly invested in collaborations with Japanese partners like Tecmo and Square. Internal leadership changes have seen greater influence from Sony Japan studio alumni returning to advisory roles. So this is an interesting rumor. And I don't think, here's what's going to happen with Intergalactic, Heretic, or whatever. This game is so cooked. This is a conscious decision to make the lead female character look like this. She looks like a featherweight boxer. Gross. You make an intentional choice to make the female character look like this. And I'm sorry, nobody wants to play as this character. You can call what you want. I don't care. She's ugly and does not look like somebody I would want to sit next to and even have a chat with. She looks like a miserable bitch. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to play as her either. Asmongold had a video that went viral, and he made a good point. People talk about this, and if a woman says something, tell her, oh, I can see a resemblance. You do kind of look like her. And they'll get insulted. What you mean by that? Sorry, it's obvious. Nobody likes this character. But here's what's going to happen with this game. You're going to have all the people that like Naughty Dog. They're going to jump on buy it. In the first week, the sales for this game will be good, and then they're going to fall off a cliff. You're going to have a similar Last of Us 2 effect. That game had front-loaded sales, and then it fell off a cliff. And you saw it again with the show. So it looks like Sony might be shifting back to Japan. And if you ask me, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Until there is a gigantic purge in Western AAA studios, or even AA, we are going to continue to see this shit happen. Now, eventually, if it goes back to Japan, these studios will have to retool, get all of the cancer and the rot out, and maybe we can have some amazing Western games come out again, which we were getting. There was a nice golden age period of Western games. And then it got hijacked by all these frickin' weirdos, man. So I see this is a good thing. Let's take it back. Let's get Square, man. Now is the time for you to make some beautiful turn-based RPGs. That would be one. That'd be a great thing. And pump those out. Get some good localizers, right? Get these crazy asses off of your localizing teams. And you could release games without controversy, too. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this rumor. What are your thoughts? Do you think this is going to happen? I think there is some truth to it. I don't think they're going to completely abandon all of their Western studios because, to be fair, not all of them release crazy shit. Some of them just do decent jobs. So, we'll see. But all of their bigger studios, man, they all have these weirdos in them. So, I don't know. I think going back to Japan, at least for a little bit, it would be a good idea. What are your thoughts? Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell. Check out my comic. There's a link in the description. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
The year is 1945. World War II rages from the halls of Buckingham Palace to the shores of the Nile River. Even now, the clash between freedom and tyranny is about to boil over. Somewhere in North Africa, two American flyboys are soaring high on a reconnaissance mission, searching for clues to a peculiar new obsession with the occult gripping the Nazi high command.